Hey everybody, MotorPoet59 here. This is Wednesday, September 14th. And yesterday, the 13th, I had a lot of things to do. I had a long day. I got up before the markets opened and left to go start taking care of some business and getting some things done out of town. And didn't get back until late last night. I didn't even look at my computer or anything. I didn't watch the news. I was really tired. I came home and I went to bed. And this morning I got up again before the markets opened and went and played golf. And I didn't get home until after the markets had closed. And I didn't look at anything. I didn't use my phone to look at anything yesterday or today. I didn't have time. I don't want to mess with it. When I got home today from playing golf, I took a shower, was going to relax, and I turned on TV and started looking at through some things and saw that the market plunged 1,200 points yesterday. The last video I did was about the market having fallen 1,000 points last week. And it had climbed back up a little bit. It hadn't gained what it lost, nowhere near that, but it had climbed back up a little bit. And I knew that wasn't going to last, but I didn't expect it to fall 1,200 points. And today, the market picked up about 30 points. The Dow is up 30 points from yesterday, and the NASDAQ is up 86. S&P 500 3946 is up 13 points. I was afraid to even come in here and turn my computer on and look at my portfolio, but I did, and my portfolio didn't change much. Whatever the market did yesterday, it didn't have a lot of effect on the things in which I'm invested. Some of them are already doing terribly. I mentioned that before, and a couple of those actually have come up a little bit over the last week. Go figure. But just because my portfolio didn't get hit doesn't mean that this is a good thing. The problem with the market is inflation, and the uninformed rank and file liberal voter I just don't know how they can look at this and not understand the correlation of a poor market and high inflation. It's so easy to understand. And I'm just a guy that worked for the railroad. I'm no economic genius, but you don't have to be to understand the basics of how this works. Every time, historically, inflation has risen, the markets have plunged, and the consumers are hurt. Every single time, without fail. And it's like their idea of socialism. Well, it'll be okay if we do it now because we'll do it differently. It's the new, like I said in the other video, it's the redefinition of economy. It's the redefinition of everything that surrounds it. Inflation, recession, depression. All those terms have been redefined by the left so they don't scare their ignorant voting base. And the people like me, I'm terrified. If I weren't so invested right now in the stock market, if my portfolio wasn't down so much, I'd get out. And I'd get completely out of it, put my money back in the bank, and just sit tight and see what happens in the midterms. I would probably actually wait until the Democrats are out of office, and that may never happen. I don't know. With voting fraud, things like that, and I'm not one of the conspiracy theorists where that's concerned, but it's happening. Inflation is out of control. It's not going down. The Inflation Reduction Act is not going to reduce inflation. It's going to crank inflation up. It's not even going to slow it down. It's going to make things worse, because what does it do? What is one of the tenets of that act? Printing more money. We don't have any money. The United States has no money. We can't just keep printing it. Pretty soon we're going to have $1 million bills that are worth nothing. We'll be able to wipe our butts with them, and it won't make any difference. That's what happens when inflation gets out of control. I said that there are controls on the market to keep it from crashing, and there are. Those controls are there. But there's nothing to control inflation except the Fed. And as that happens, as rates go up, it just snowballs. And pretty soon, people won't be able to afford to buy homes. They won't be able to afford to buy cars because the banks won't be able to afford to borrow money from other institutions and keep the economy turning the way it's supposed to turn without these giant interest rates that I lived through in the 70s and 80s. When Ronald Reagan took over, inflation, I don't remember what it was at, but it was 11%. It was double digits. I remember that. But it took almost an entire decade to get that taken care of, to get that turned around. And how did we do that? By using the free market, supply side economics. Everybody, ooh, voodoo economics. But by God, they worked. It worked. It got inflation under control. It got interest rates under control. It got the economy under control. We were still spending more money than we should have spent. But nonetheless, consumer confidence went up and people started spending money again. That won't happen. Right. People don't understand right now, especially these young people who think that this money is free, that these COVID stimulus package things are something they're going to be able to count on, that these this ridiculous unemployment policies that the idiot Biden administration and the idiot Gavin administration have given, handing out money we don't have. I don't know, man. It is scary. My sister and when I talk about my portfolio, I don't have a bajillion dollars invested. I don't have that much money, but I have enough that if I would have just left it in the bank, would have easily lasted me the rest of my life. I don't blow a lot of money. That's not my thing. I should have just I really wish I would have done that. I've been a poor steward of my money. The Gen Zers and the younger millennials and the kids on the left, they are completely uninterested in the economy. Doesn't make any sense to them because they're sitting in basements and they're sitting on couches and they're doing nothing. So what difference does it make what the economy does to them? It's not going to affect. It's going to affect their parents. It's going to affect their grandparents, people like me, but they don't care about that. They really honestly don't. Even if it's their parents or grandparents, if you're a parent or a grandparent of of a Gen Z or millennial, liberal or progressive, they don't care about you. They don't. They want you to keep giving them money and cars and sending them to school and stuff, but they don't really care about you beyond that. And that's just a fact. That is just a fact. It's sad. But anyway, what do you think about all this? What do you think about this market fluctuations? It's not getting better. Just because it's up a few points today is nothing in the face of the over 5,000 points it's dropped in the last month, I believe. I believe it's about 4 weeks. 4,000 points. 4,000 points. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Shoot me an email at motopolar59@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell if you want to be notified of future content, and we'll see you all later.